Anyways, my name is Fadili Dreezy. I work with Paul and his two sons at Gagliardi Law. And I'm just going to tell you real quick how I met Paul and what my perception of Paul was in the beginning. So my brother, who's an attorney, had this case and he says, you know what, I need someone in Wisconsin to handle this. So, find a good attorney and present it to him so he can take the case. I just graduated law school, so I find Paul Gagliardi Sr. I look up and all these accolades, and I'm like, wow, this guy's a superstar. And then you hear Gagliardi, that's like a strong name, and Italian, and so forth. And so I took the case to him, and he was kind, he says, yeah, come on in, we'll talk. And all of a sudden, I walk in, and first impression was, like the Orbit's character, the little guy with the hat, with the beard. And I just thought to myself, I don't know if I'm in a travel agency or law firm.
As all of you know, Paul is publicly perceived to be a 60-something-year-old Boy Scout. A trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, etc., etc. So there's absolutely no reason for me to elaborate on the obvious facade. He's also, and this is true, a wonderful son, husband, father, and friend.
Yes.
Yes? All agreed. But he's also a lawyer, a golfer, and a Democrat.
Oh.
That is sad, disastrous, period. All right? Please understand that the problem with lawyer jokes is lawyers don't think they're funny, and non-lawyers don't think they're jokes. And while there are many lawyer jokes out there, only 2 or 3 are jokes. The rest are true stories. Now remember, Paul's always been a frugal fellow. He wasn't always flush. And one afternoon, he found himself in a local watering hole, which surrounded his office at that time, everywhere you looked. And and a rather good-looking woman sat down at the bar next to him and whispered in a breathy, sultry voice, "I'll do anything you want for $50. The always frugal Paul got out his wallet and instantly gave her the $50 and said, "Paint my house."
We have to go back to Thunder. And the reason why I have to go back to Thunder is because of the fact that in most cases, I'm glad Bill Harris is here because Bill can verify this. Most people, if you were to say, he treats me like a dog, that would be an insult. But, in Paul's case, that's the highest compliment.
That's true. That's true.
And his love of cars goes back to high school. What, you had 3 cars back then or something like that?
The 1948 Buick.
Yeah, something like that. But, Paul had this, this collection of cars with a big back seat. And it was very, very, helpful to know that he certainly understood motor vehicles very well. And so when Mike was talking about the genie, I think he got the story wrong.
No.
Oh, no. See, the genie told Paul, said, you have 1 wish. I want. He said, you only get 1. And Paul said, I like those bodies and all that stuff. I'd like to be, I'd like to make a lot of money. So I'd like to be the exclusive dealer of an imported car in a big city. And the genie goes, poof. And Paul's the American Motors dealer in Tokyo. Paul is a dear friend to many, and that's a good thing. Because, of course, you better call Paul if he's not. I mean, 1 call, that's all it's taken. So it's going to be slip and fall, that's all. How'd you get me involved? How did you get me involved?
Bill Harris.
Bill Harris got me involved. Oh my gosh.
Bill's the culprit.
My cousin Paulie.
Paul Vincent Gagliardi. Not to be confused with my cousin Vinny. Remember that movie, Paul?
Sure.
Yeah, he's my size.
You got a short, mouthy, wisecracking Italian lawyer.
With a big heart.
Pesci.
With a big heart.
Pesci.
With a big heart.
Vinny Gambini. If Aunt Caroline would have twisted your name around, it could have been Vinny Gagliardi.
You should have left.
But Paulie, you got screwed in this deal. Right? 1992, Joe Pesci, my cousin Vinny, you're my cousin Paul, you could have been my cousin Vinny. They stole your persona.
My middle name is Vinny.
I know that. Paul Vincent Gagliardi. If your mom would have twisted it, you would have been my cousin Vinny.
I want part
Instead
of
of
the
my cousin
action.
Paulie.
I want part of the action.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I know,
you
I
got
got
to do
it.
what's best.
Tell you.
What do you do best, Paul? You write a letter and you threaten to sue him. Unfortunately, Paul's a liberal.
Don't let Uncle Marty hear you.
Paulie is a dino. You heard of rhinos? Paulie's a dino. He's a Democrat in name only. You know why I say that? Because Paulie moved to Paddock Lake to barter with the people out there. Paulie's the king of the underground economy. Paulie never pays for anything. He trades 2 wills for 2 bushels of corn. He trades power of attorney for, a little work on his house, a little plumbing work, cost him a trust. What am I doing, Palmer?